Hi Saber fans, Scarecrow here. My latest build. This is a Solo's Whole Luke V2 from Return of the Jedi. This is the one that's seen in vast majority of the movie. Quick background on this one. At Celebration 2015, some brand new high resolution photos of the original prop came out, and they showed all sorts of new things that nobody had seen. So the guys over at what is now NerfWorks Labs set out to create the most accurate, up-to-date version, and they wanted to keep it install friendly as well. And this is what they came up with. And I think they did a phenomenal job. When it arrives, it doesn't look quite like this. It's just a pristine machined aluminum hilt. It takes a little work to get it here. I had to start off with doing some physical weathering on the booster area and on the pommel as well. As you can see there. Give it some nicks and dings, make it look like it's worn. Also did a black wash over the booster area to darken it up. For the paint, I used Trooper Trent stencils. He created a stencil set so that you can get screen accurate paint off of it without having to spend obscene amounts of time with dental tools and tape and everything trying to get it right. In order to keep the paint there, I went ahead and coated it with 2 coats of 2K matte, put 3 on the booster actually. So the paint sealed up, you don't have to worry about it going anywhere. It can be handled and dusted, etc. And then I used a Roman's Vintage Replica Graflex clamp on it. I put a 3/4 inch D-ring, a little smaller than the one that came with it. It's just personal preference. As you can see here, that is the Sloth Furnace, Return of the Jedi clamp card with the silver traces. Also something newly discovered on the recent photos. And I have gaffer's tape around the neck. We're assuming that was put there to keep the emitter from spinning. And the only thing I really couldn't do was bring myself to ding the emitter, which on the original prop there is a large ding on the emitter, most likely from dropping it at some point. I felt comfortable leaving that idealized. Really didn't bother me. So let's go ahead and show what we have inside of here. This is a Goth 3 Designs master chassis. As you can see here, all of your ports are easily accessible. You have your SD, then your rice, your recharge, and it does have a twist kill key from Goth 3 Designs. And I used the replacement bar graph cap on this and put a 4-segment bar graph underneath. I used a brass mesh over it, just kind of keep the LEDs from looking quite so raw. And as you can see, I added some weathering paint to it to kind of give it a consistent feel inside and out. Painted other areas to kind of highlight some of the detail that can be hidden. Being all black, sometimes, like I said, it can get lost. Pull this out. Here we have, and this is a slide-out chassis. And here we have a 3-piece crystal chamber. It's made of brass, bronze, and gold-plated steel. It's got copper accent rods in it and copper tubing. The crystal itself is an Angel Aura Brazilian quartz. That Angel Aura is kind of a rainbow sheen on the outside of it. I think it works really well with color changing sabers. I like it a lot. So I tend to use those now for color changers. And as far as the electronics go, it's got a Crystal Focus version 8. It's got a color extender below it here. It's got your red-green royal blue tri-cree. I used mil-spec wire on this one. It's Teflon coated. It's got good thermal abrasion, dermal abrasion as far as wear and tear on it, things like that. It can take a lot more than your typical silicone coated wire. And considering the wires have to flex in the neck, I do want to make sure that it's going to be good for years to come. So let's go ahead and fire this thing up.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
There we go. And the 4-segment bar graph underneath acts as just random blinking pattern when it's an idle standby. This way it just kind of looks like it's running some diagnostics. And as you can see here, the crystal chamber is wired to the accent pad, so it does have crystal pulse. which is nice. Plus, it's easily configurable. You can do whatever you want to. You can set it to mimic, or you can set it to run different patterns if you want to. That I really like about it. So let's go ahead and put some power on this. And once it fires up, goes into a chasing pattern on the bar graph. It's actually 3 different patterns, but it creates kind of a pulse effect, which is what I was going for. So I like that. And then when you do lockup, it just kind of goes crazy. So actually show you one other cool feature in iSaber. And I do have this set up for glyphs.
Sound bank selection.
Skywalker Nebula.
Ringing.
Off. Revolt. Shut.
Youngling. Audio player. Audio player.
So in iSaber, it acts as a graphic EQ, which I really like. And that font is Skywalker ROTJ from Lord Blako. I also have Hero from Mad Cow on there. And those are 2 of my favorite Jedi fonts. Let's close this up. It's a very sensitive saber, and it's a loud saber too, considering it has no sound venting in the pommel. Your sound venting is done through the clamp, all the holes in the clamp, so once again, stays accurate. And this one is color changing. It's an excellent saber. I really think these guys, I mean, they couldn't have done any better with it. This thing is just phenomenal. This has always been a unicorn of mine. I've wanted one since I was a kid, but there was always something with them I just didn't like, and this was the first one that just grabbed me, and I had to have it. And like I said, I couldn't be happier. And I want to thank all of the guys that were involved with this, which was Solos Hold, Crucible Custom Props, Obi Shane, Guthrie Designs, Sloth Furnace, Trooper Trent. Really, you guys, I can't thank you enough. And I also can't thank you enough for watching. So, hopefully you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't bore you too much or anything. And hopefully I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.